Greetings, folks. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day number three, pick number three of my 31 favorite singers slash frontmen who also regularly played an instrument at the same time, right? So these are the focal point, singing all the songs, or most of them anyway, playing a guitar also at the same time, playing bass, playing the drums behind the drum kit, at the keyboards, xylophone, violin, marimba, mandolin, flute, saxophone, trumpet, tuba, ukulele, theremin, whatever. They're playing something all the time while they're also singing. May or may not be the chief songwriters in the band, right? But they're the person up there that's singing those songs that we remember, and also a huge part of the musical ensemble that's going on up there, right, as well, right? Singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, yeah, whatever you want to call them, right? But they also full-time instrumentalist and the singer in the band, right? So today for day number three, again, I'm not putting these in any order. This person here would probably rank very, very high if I was ranking these, but I'm not. Just gonna get them all haphazardly throughout the month. That's the way we're playing this whole game here. I've picked out my three favorite albums from this particular artist here. This person from a very prominent Canadian band, most notably known for playing Rickenbacker 4001 bass, especially early on, and the double neck. And of course, played lots of Fender jazz basses over the years. Played the Steinberger for a while, the wall bass too. But like I said, most notably known, Rickenbacker and the Fender jazz bass. Let's bring to the stage the one, the only, and he plays keyboards too, and lead vocalist of Rush, Mr. Geddy Lee. Of course, absolutely, of course. He with the what used to be a really high-pitched voice, right? Kind of mellowed over the years. But man, that air raid siren early on, right? That voice and those amazing bass skills. Of course, his main influences, Chris Squire and John Entwistle and Jack Bruce, right? Probably John Paul Jones. But to me, you guys, if you remember back a couple months ago when we did favorite bass players of all time, who was my favorite bass player of all time? That guy. Remember, some people were like, well, how can you rank Geddy ahead of Chris Squire and John Entwistle, who he names as his influences? Because I do. Because he's my favorite, right? I don't care who is influenced by who. That doesn't impact my ranking or rating of anybody. It's great that he's influenced by two other guys that I love, but Geddy Lee, man, total package. I've always loved Geddy's voice. I know some people have an issue with Geddy's voice. I get it. Right? My good friend Sidney Taylor does not like Geddy's voice whatsoever. I get it. I personally, grew up hearing Geddy's voice. I love Geddy's voice. It's so unique. Yeah, it's high pitched. It's wailing. Yeah, I get it. I like when he mellowed out later on, right? I'd like Geddy Lee singing no matter what kind of register he's doing it in. And man, that bass playing. To me, I love Geddy's busy, groovy bass work. When he wants to shred, man, he shred balls on the bass. And I loved his tone. I love his tone on any bass he uses. But man, I love the old Rickenbacker days, big time. But I like the Fender days. I think he's great on the Steinberger as well. He's got that real trebly thing going on. And I love that he does like solos and all these cool, I mean, boy. Bum, 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 bum. What song is it, folks? Who knows it? I know you do. Come on. Free Will, of course. But yeah, so many great songs, so many great bass lines, so many memorable vocal passages and choruses and things like that. I mean, Geddy had to be on this list. You know, Geddy might even be, in the top five, right? There's better singers, right? He's not a classic singer. It's very unique. But man, when you put together the songwriting abilities and the keyboards and the bass playing with the voice, again, he does it all. Does it all. Favorite three albums. Lots to choose from. Lots to choose from here. I decided to go with a trio of albums that were released in a row that to me have the most identifiable, iconic, like bass passages, bass grooves, and little bass solos and things like that. They're just like so like out there virtuoso. First off, I'm going to go with Hemispheres. Let me turn off the Prezi. You know what Geddy looks like. We don't have to worry about not seeing him anymore here, right? Let's see me in regular. Here we go. Hemispheres has to be on this list. To me, this begin, Farewell to Kings, 2112 probably begins that amazing, impeccable run for the band. But purely from a bass perspective, he's doing some incredible shit on Cygnus X1 on this. Great, amazing stuff. La Villa Strangiato, he's killing it on there. Everybody's killing it on there. All three guys, Neil and Alex as well. But right there, you got the two bookends, the two epic bookends on this album. And then, Circumstances in the Trees is great too. But man, it's what's going on the other two tracks is just like otherworldly. So I had to pick that. One of my favorite albums for his bass playing is actually Permanent Waves. I mean, he's great in Spirit of Radio. He's amazing in Free Will. I just gave you that whole solo right there. I just did the whole mouth humming thing, right? Did I hum it better than Lid? I think so. Um, he's great in Jacob's Ladder. How about different strings? He's wailing on there. Him and Alex are just raging there. Natural Science. That's what I meant. Sorry, they're both raging on Natural Science. Different Strings is very cool too. But Natural Science, man, those guys are just burning it up in there. So good in his tone, man. That Rickenbacker tone on this album is just absolute killer, as Ryan Scott would say. Chef's kiss. Great stuff. Maybe, arguably, only topped by this. He's amazing on moving pictures, right? His playing in Red Barchetta, classic. YYZ or YYZ. That's just sick bass playing in there. Just so good. He's great in Limelight, Tom Sawyer, Vital Signs, Witch Hunts. He's doing some very, very cool, funky stuff in Vital Signs, which is a song that I always ignored and didn't really like when I was a kid growing up, loving this record. I always kind of, by the time we got to Vital Signs, I was like, okay, I'm done. Let's go back to the beginning. Now I find I want to hear Vital Signs more than anything else on this album because to me, that song is kind of fresh here in 2025, right? So yeah, love it. Here's where he's starting to play, the Fender bass a bit along with the Rickenbacker, and he would start to use the Fender much, much more as we went into the 80s. And then, obviously found Steinberger, started doing that with the birth of the headless guitars, right? So yeah, those are my three favorite albums featuring his bass playing. I could probably tomorrow wake up tomorrow and say, oh, I can make a case for 2112 or Farewell to Kings or Signals. His playing is great on Signals too, right? So really, there's no wrong answer here. So yeah, Geddy Lee, these are my three favorite picks, three favorite albums featuring his bass playing, and his singing as well. Because to me, the peak of the effective, you could make the argument that the early, early stuff, he's just shrieking for shriek's sake. But here, I think he really settled into a groove on these albums. He's still like, I mean, on Hemispheres, he's doing some off the wall stuff. But these two albums and probably Signals, the best albums from the still shooting to the stratosphere, high pitched vocal range of Geddy. Um, but I like a lot of his more mid-rangey stuff too that he does later on. Like I think, the last couple albums he did some great stuff on there as well. So yeah, these are my three favorite from a vocal bass perspective from Mr. Geddy Lee. So let us know what you think of Geddy Lee down in the comments below, as well as your pick for and your pick for today, and your three favorite albums featuring your singer instrumentalist in the bands, right? So and we'll see you tomorrow for another one. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, Sea of Tranquility, membership options, all down below. I should write a song for all of this, record it, play it so I don't have to say it every damn day, right? I'll never do that. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody, on this glorious Sunday, and we'll see you in less than an hour for ranking the albums. Jerry Cantrell, guitarist, vocalist from Alice in Chains, his 4 solo records. I'm going to rank them as I like them. Check it out, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just a little while. Till then, I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.